What's going on? What's going on? How y'all doing? It's Wednesday, February 11th. Dcryptofan. Wanted to get into the Clarity Act. I know a lot of people, I see a lot of questions on what's going on with the Clarity Act. What is the Clarity Act? So I wanted to get into that, what's going on. Because I see there's a lot of misinformation that's going on there with the Clarity Act and what's going on with the Clarity Act. So I wanted to go on. I want to go on and tell everybody exactly what the Clarity Act is. So right now, the Clarity Act is being held up in the Senate, Congress. Right now, it's an argument between the banks and Coinbase, and what they're arguing about right now is basically yields. Styles by shirt is going on. Crypto gang, what's going on? What's going on? So right now, there's an argument about yields. Okay, what are yields? So basically, banks, they have $6.6 trillion, $6.6 trillion in deposits. And in deposits, the banks make 4 to 5%. So that comes up to, what is that, 4% on 6 trillion, $2.64 trillion. And then if you were talking about on 6.6 trillion at 6%, at 5% would be 3.36 billion dollars. So $336 billion. So that's basically what the bank makes for holding your money in the account. So the banks right now are arguing with Coinbase. Coinbase wants to go ahead and do stable coins, and stable coins will give people back 4 to 5% on their money. So basically cutting out the banks. But here's the big difference. If you lose your money on Coinbase, you're not insured. If you lose your money on your savings account, you're insured for $250,000. James Davidson, what's going on, brother? What's going on, Crypto Gang? What's going on? So that's what that is when it comes to the Clarity Act. So that's what the holdup is. So right now you have Brian Armstrong, and you're trying to, and I at one time I was trying to figure out myself, like, how does Brian Armstrong have such a voice that you have the Senate actually listening to Brian? Well, what I found out was that he also spent $130 million to put people in the right seats in Congress, and also to make sure that the president got voted in. $130 million. Crypto, let me tell you, these crypto companies spend a lot of money to get Trump voted in. Because the thing about it, not only voted in, but to get these laws and put the right people in place to pass these laws, and also lobbyists, which is legal. Well, Coinbase spent $130 million. Ripple, which is XRP, spent $27 million. So just right there, you have $157 million just in those two companies, not counting all the other companies. There's a lot of crypto companies that spend a lot of money to put the right people in place to get laws passed, and also to push the president in there. I just want to be transparent, and that's why he has such a voice. Because I'm trying to understand, how do you stop a law and a bill? How does an exchange, Coinbase Exchange, stop a bill? Well, not only that, they have 100 million users. That's another reason how they can stop the bill. 100 million users, and they have over $500 billion of people's monies. Julia, what's going on? What's going on? So this is why Coinbase and the Clarity Act are being held up. That's why you see a lot of FUD, and people are now starting to blame Coinbase. Some people are playing the bankers. I just think that they should just come out and tell exactly what it is, because I think the banks are a little bit too scared. I don't think that they're nowhere near yet where people trust taking their savings. And AMGR, what's going on? I don't think people are in the place right now to trust crypto enough to take their savings and move it out their savings account and then move it into a stable coin. So for people who don't know what a stable coin is basically a digital dollar. So what they're saying is that instead of you keeping your money in your savings, again, 0.5 0.5 and not and be assured that some people were willing to go ahead and put their money into a stable coin and get 5% and not be assured. So you gotta understand it. Some people, they look at $10,000, right? They say they got $10,000 and this is their last $10,000 to their name. And they're looking at, okay, on my $10,000, you're gonna pay me 6%. So these people are saying, okay, so I'm gonna make $60 a year. You know what I mean? $60, $72 a year on this money is right here, right? For them, they're like, for $72 a year, which, you know, that's cool. I could double my money in whatever, if I could 10 years, whatever it is. For them, they're like, listen, man, I can't lose this last 10,000. I'd rather be insured and you keep your $70 a year. And I think that's people's right to make that decision. And there's some people that's with that. That's like, yo, I don't care about that $70. This is my last 10 grand. I can't have it out there like that. You know what I'm saying? And that's what up. Funk Buddha, what's going on, gang? What's going on? What's going on with y'all, man? What's going on? We got a crypto gang in here, man. So that's what it is. So this is what the whole holdup is. Coinbase wants to give 5% for holding your stable coin with them. Basically buying whatever Circle or whatever stable coin they would have, Tether, or keeping your $6.6 trillion. That's so you understand. All the savings in America is up to $6.6 trillion. And the FCIA approves up to 250,000 insurers. So if you put let's say you had 250,000 in stable coins on Coinbase, you get hacked, you ain't getting that money back. Now let's say you're in a checking account, savings account, somebody steals your 250,000. What's going on, Big Lou? Appreciate that. You're getting back your 250,000. That's the difference. So some people, they rather do it that way and go with the Wild Wild West. I got hacked off of Coinbase for $54,000. I didn't get my money back. So for me, I would have loved to have mine in a whatever, anything else but that. Or save, if you put it in the savings, put it in the CD, whatever. I'd rather I got 3%, 4% on that, or take it and put in the S&P 5,000. I never heard about the S&P 5,000 getting hacked. Instead of leaving the stable coin. So I could give a damn about a stable coin, tell you the truth. To be honest with you, I don't care about Coinbase. I don't really care a damn about Coinbase. I lost 54,000, they didn't help me. I don't give a damn about Coinbase, and I don't care about the 0.5 that the banks are giving either. So I tell you the truth, I got no dog in the race. I tell you the truth, I deal with math. You know what I mean? Coinbase math, they're screaming the 6-7% in the stable coin, but 4%, but you can get a high percent and get your money insured somewhere else. So I'm not too pressed on that either, because I got hacked for that 54,000. So I'm not pressed on that, to tell you the truth. You know what I'm saying? To tell you the truth, you know, we're dealing in a Wild West where we got to be our own security. For real. We have to be our own security. We got to make sure that we have our cold wallet, our hot wallet. Make sure we keep our key phrases to ourselves offline, and make sure that we don't get hacked. We're our own custodian. I can't wait till there's a point where we can get somebody custody it, and then also get it insured. That would be strong. That would be strong where it's treated like a regular bank, an actual bank. And there's some people who won't deal with it because they want the anonymity to go ahead and move quietly and don't be traced and keep it quiet. And I think that's people's right too. You know what I mean? I get it. Steven said insurance would be fantastic. It would be amazing. That I think that would also bring a lot more people in this space quickly, very, very quickly. You know what I'm saying? I think I think that the adaptation would come because people are scared of crypto. They look at the Wild Wild West, and then you hear the FUD. Let me tell you, the FUD that's out right now. If some people don't know what FUD is, that's fear, uncertainty, and doubt. Right now, there's a lot of fear, uncertainty, and doubt. And they're putting a lot of stuff out there. And I think it's purposely to draw down the prices, to bring it down, because behind closed doors, they're still making things happen. Behind closed doors, they're still spending money. Banks are spending money. So, and I'm not saying behind closed doors. I'm gonna say quietly. I'm not gonna say behind closed doors, because they're hiding it in plain sight. It's not, you know what I'm saying? They're hiding that they're buying coins in plain sight. They're hiding that they're doing tokenization right now. You'll get caught up in the prices and get lost, but there's a lot of flood right now. And the Clarity Act is not making it better, especially that the Clarity Act was supposed to be done. And the banks backed out. The banks was like, nah, that's not what we want. You know what I'm saying? Let me see. Steven said, I bought Ice Crypto, changed name, lost everything. I bought Ice Crypto, changed the name, and lost everything. Ice Crypto. What was Ice Crypto? What was the Ice Crypto? I've never heard of Ice Crypto. You gotta be careful with these coins, man. Let me tell you, I hate coins that change their names. I hate that. Let me tell you something. Like when I remember, I don't know if y'all remember a coin. I don't know if y'all remember there was a coin, Safe Moon, right? They changed the name, man. Let me tell you, man. Even Paul Matic turned into Pauly. I hate when coins change names, man. Let me tell you, Boss Buddha, what's going on? What's going on, Crypto Gang? Joe Redot says the U.S. dollar is in trouble. My friend, the U.S. dollar has been in trouble for a while. From the first time they pumped money, the first time they printed money in the pandemic, we was in trouble. When everybody was glorifying getting a extra $6,000, they didn't know that they were gonna get hit with inflation that was going to make that $6,000 look like 10% of what they were going to be paying. It's real crazy. Me and my friend were talking. Me and one of my best friends were talking, and we have like I told you, we have a chat, and he was like, "Listen, everybody thinks that the prices went up on everything. Everybody swears the prices went up. Prices didn't go up. The dollar lost the value. Your houses didn't go up. Jewelry didn't go up. The price of your dollar went down. That's what it is. Exactly what it is. When dollar was priced, when the dollar right was backed by gold, all right. When the dollar was backed by gold, when gold goes up, dollar goes up. What happened? It's 1-to-1, ain't it? What happens is when you print, money's not backed by nothing. I'm telling you, the way that let me tell you, people be wanting bailouts. If we keep getting bailouts and they keep printing, first of all, I never qualified for any bailout anyway. I never qualified for any of it. Tell you right, I never got $1 from any of those stuff. I never qualified. I'm saying anyway, and it's a good thing that I don't qualify. I'm happy that I don't qualify for it. You know what I'm saying? I'm happy not to be in that lane. You know what I'm saying? So it's all cool. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes, you're saying my fault. Anyway, but I'm not in that lane. But every time they print money, it devalues the dollar. Okay, so when you're thinking that they're helping you out and they're bailing you out, they're not. And the next thing they're doing, they're taking it back from you in your taxes and they're raising inflation. And what people did, you know what I'm saying? What they did is when they printed that money, they went and gave it back to the 1%. When they printed that money, right? Everybody, even the scammers, the dope boys, the people that did fraud, they stole all that money and gave it all back to the 1%. And you're probably saying, how did it give it back to 1%? I'm gonna tell how you gave it back to the 1%. I'm gonna tell you right now. Remember, I used to work at Mercedes. Let me tell you, everybody want AMG. The people that used to come with $5,000 down, they was coming with $20,000 down. The people that was buying Rolexes, they were buying presidentials. Everybody took their money, right, and went crazy. And they gave it back to the 1%. because you know all that 1%, that liquor that you bought, the 1% on it, that jewelry, the purse, the wallet, the cars that you bought, that's all owned by the 1%. And not only did that, they price gouged you. They price gouged you, right? And not only crazy, right? FOMO, the fear of missing out. People were selling houses. People were selling houses for $10,000, $20,000 over price for price gouging. This is what happens. So you thinking that you're not even keeping up with inflation. So why people thinking that, oh, keep printing money and getting happy, that's just devaluing the dollar. So meaning that, so let me put this in perspective to make this understand for you. All right. Let me show you what this is. So let's just put an example. Let's say you have $100,000 in the bank. All right. Just sitting there and ain't doing nothing. So you understand, in 5 years, that $100,000 turned to $70,000. And you saying, what do you mean why it turned to $70,000? Because the prices went up 40, 50%. For your just 30%. Your price go up 30%. That means that 100,000 is only worth 70,000 because you don't have the same buying power. That same $100,000 you had 4 or 5 years ago can't buy what you could buy back then. Now it's going to buy $70,000. The other day, I walked out the gas station with a candy bar, a lollipop, and some other stuff, like two little what thing. This man said $16, man. I said, what? For what? I looked, I said, you just gotta be, I said, something gotta be wrong here. Oh, it was a Hershey Kisses. I looked at Hershey Kisses, $3.89. Lollipop, remember the lollipop, little blow pop that I used to get for 15 cents, 25 cents? They charged me $1.19 for a blow pop. You remember the Big Gulp? The Big Gulp used to be getting for 99 cents forever. Let me tell you, they've been charging 99 cents Big Gulp since I was like 11 years old. These cats went to $1.59. You think that prices went up? Prices didn't go up. Your dollar got devalued. D Hill, thank you. Appreciate the love. Appreciate the love. We got D Hill in the building. Appreciate the love. So this is what happened. The dollar's getting devalued. So when he's saying that the dollar, when a gentleman's saying the dollar's, people are scared, this is what they're talking about. So because of this fear, you'll see people take their money and they'll put it into gold. They'll put it into silver. Like you just seen, there was an ill pump. People were buying. Then you saw a huge dip. So there was a lot of FOMO. A lot of people got wrecked in that recently buying silver. If you were buying silver the last 2 weeks, 3 weeks, like before 4 weeks ago, 5 weeks ago, yeah, you got wrecked because it had a serious momentum and it took a huge dump. Pretty sure it'll go back up. But there was a huge dump. That's when it comes back to DCA and like everything else. So let me get into this. So the crypto clarity. So basically, like I told you, the Crypto Clarity Act, what it basically is about, the banks want to keep their $6.6 trillion of deposits. Coinbase wants to go ahead and give you yields of 4 or 5% of your money. So here's the difference. You keep $10,000 in your savings account, they give you 0.5. You keep $10,000 in a stable coin on Coinbase, you're gonna get 5%. 5% on $5,000, you're talking about, what is that? $500? Was that $500? Yeah, $500. So you're getting $500 a year, okay, for them to hold your money. So basically, you're getting yourself, you're paying like $42, $43 a month. All right? That's what they'll pay you. So what happens is you could double that money in about 7 years. Now, if they steal that money, say somebody goes in there and hacks your money is gone. Now you can go ahead and keep it in the savings account. You get 0.5. So 0.5 on $10,000, unfortunately, it's not $500. That's right there. It's going to be $50 a year. At a 0.5. So basically, you ain't getting nothing for them holding your money in the checking savings account on that $10,000. But if your money gets stolen, you'll get that money back. That's the difference. Bottom line, nothing else. You decide which one you trust. You know what I'm saying? And that's what that is. All right. So they're arguing about $6.6 trillion. And you're saying, what's $6.6 trillion? $6.6 trillion with the banks yearly at 4% is getting $2.6 trillion, $264 billion. If they get 5% for that year, they're going to go ahead and get $336 billion. Okay. That's what they'll be getting yearly. 336 billion. So that's what the fight is about. $336 billion. Okay? So that's the difference. Bank, you get your money back. Coinbase, like me getting hacked $54,000, I ain't get my money back. I have money stolen from debit cards, credit cards. I got all my money back. They didn't pay the same yields as Coinbase, but I got my money back. So with that, you're old enough. You people are smart enough. You decide what you want to do. That's the truth. No hype, no cap. So when you hear Brian Armstrong from Coinbase talking about, oh, the banks, they want to take care of the American people. Guess what? I'm American people. And when I called that man and said, Coinbase, y'all need some help about my 54,000, this is what I got. Mr. Telephone Man, there's something wrong with my line because when I call my baby's number, I get a beep every time. Yeah, that was Coinbase, okay? Beep every time. All right, that's what I want to tell you. So you play with it if you want, all right? Because you know what happens when you get hacked on the bank, you call that phone, you got somebody to talk to. Okay, there's somebody that's going to help you. Coinbase, I was on there for 3 hours. And guess what? One time they picked up, said what they said, and hung up on me. I had to start all over for another 3 hours. See how that feels when you lost $54,000 versus you just walk into your bank if they don't pick up the phone and talk to somebody and they be like, don't worry about Mr. John Doe or Mrs. Jane Doe. That's the difference. And the banks need to sell that. That's what the banks need to sell. That's what it is. And that's what the holdup is. You know what I'm saying? Who's this hold? No answer. Eventually drop call. That's Coinbase. That's Coinbase. 3 hours. When I got hacked for 54,000, 3 hours. Imagine when you're panicking and you need help and you're on hold for 3 hours. See how that feels like. Okay, and that was Coinbase. That ain't gonna happen when you call your bank. You know that's gonna happen. You call Chase, you call Bank of America, you call them, and I'm not speaking for the banks. I'm just talking about in truth. Okay? I just want to be honest with y'all. This is Dcryptofan. Y'all adults. I ain't gonna do hype. Like one of the guys I used to listen to, that I used to respect in the space, and now that I do this with you guys and I have to look up the content and look up the truth, I caught him just basically doing hype, doing stuff for cap. You know what I'm saying? He just started making up stuff. He was talking about the Epstein. I was like, he was saying stuff that wasn't true. He said Epstein was the original founder spending money on Bitcoin. I said, no, that's a lie. Houston did not start Bitcoin. Your boy Houston Hill made a product that was connected to Bitcoin. You know what I'm saying? And so basically he's spreading wrong news. What he's saying is absolutely wrong. It's absolutely false. I'm like, what the freak you talking about? And I'm like, damn, you've been listening to this dude? Now, how much false narratives has he changed? That's why you gotta speak the facts. You guys are adult. See, I grew up in a time when they used to have this cat called Dan Rathers. They used to have, let me tell you, man. Back in my day, I grew up with cats. When they spoke the news, they spoke the news. They didn't speak their opinion. All they did was speak the fact and break it down and let you do your decision. There was a place of diplomacy, man. These cats had charisma. You never know. Let me tell you, these newscasters used to talk. You didn't know they didn't even know where they stand. You didn't know if they were Republican. You didn't know if they're Democrat. You didn't know if they believed in the story. If it wasn't murder or something heinous, you didn't know what they stand on the subject. You never knew where they stand. Now everybody's opinionated. Everybody trying to sell hype, sell cap. I'm telling you, man. You look at Dan Rathers, man. That boy sit there every night. The boy got the little hair to the thing. That boy face stays the same every day. It don't matter what news he say, his face is the same. The man face never changed. He just report the news. Let me tell you, you're adults. Y'all didn't get here, understand this crypto, and y'all don't understand the news and how to dissect it and hear the information for yourself, man. That's what it is, man. I'll tell y'all the truth. Appreciate that. Appreciate the love. Appreciate that love. You know what I'm saying? I just want to be honest, you know. Risky but wise said XRP will go back to 57 cents. Boy, let me tell you something. I hope not, but if it does, boy, I'm gonna throw a whole lot at it. You think? Let me tell you, I don't think it will, but if it does, I'm telling you right now, I'm a double what I own right now. I'll tell you that much. I'll double what I own right now. At 57 cents, I wish they would. I wish they would. And let me tell you something. I wish they would. I dare them. It's like a pounce on that baby like a goddamn, like a damn lion, like a lioness. like a goddamn lion. Pounce on that thing. Like a lion. You ever see the freaking lions pouncing on my boy? I'm gonna trip that thing, boy. Boy, you better not. Better not. I regret I don't even got enough. Shoot. I wish you would. 57 cents. I wish you tried me like that. I wish you would. Do play with me like that. All right. 57 cents, please. I don't think I got enough. I was buying some at $1.17, $1.75, and I own it for 48 cents and 52 cents. So you think if I'm buying at $1.17, that I ain't gonna buy that 90 cents, 80 cents, 70 cents, 60 cents, 50 cents, 40 cents, 30 cents? What are we doing? What are we doing here? Are we serious right now? Now we're not even live right now. Man, okay. Listen, I was here when, so y'all don't understand. I was here when we were at $3.7 trillion and it fell down to 900 billion. It actually hit $889 billion. I saw this space right here. I saw us go to 3.78 trillion and go down to 900 billion. The total amount of money that's in crypto. You see right now, Bitcoin, just to show you what I saw in 2021. You understand? Man, come on, man. Y'all, some people, y'all just got here, man. Right now, right? Bitcoin itself has $1.3 trillion. That's the total amount of money that's in Bitcoin. In 2021, all of crypto had 900 billion. It had less than all of Bitcoin. Listen to what I just said to you. Bitcoin right now has $1.2 trillion. In 2021, 4 years ago, we only had 900 billion in all of crypto, meaning all 20,000 coins, 10,000 coins all together was less than the $1.3 trillion that's in Bitcoin. Are y'all serious right now? You talking about having diarrhea? Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something, man. Let me say, you lived through $3.7 trillion and go to 9. You talking about you're gonna have diarrhea. Okay? You're gonna go to work, you ain't even gonna tell people. You're gonna be like, what? You gonna listen, okay? You boy. And then they're telling you to go ahead and buy. Listen to this now. Now it went down. It went down like 80%. And then they said buy some more. You know what kind of cojones that took? To go buy some that, listen, I'll just tell y'all the ride that I went on to. This is what you call diamond hands. Let me tell you something. If you go look at my stories, your boy, Warren Buffett says, the greatest device of wealth transfer, right? He says the wealth transfers from the inpatient to the patient. That's what I kept in my head. That's what I held on to the whole time. You gotta be patient. You gotta be patient, Randy. You gotta be patient. You gotta be patient, Randy. You gotta be patient, Randy. I kept saying to myself, and I'm buying this thing with my sick stomach. And I'm thinking about the last 2 cycles about how them cats made money. All right? So mind you now, I buy that 57 cents. The thing drops down to 27 cents. Then it rises up to $1.80. From 27 cents, that thing ran up to $1.80. You heard me? And then it came crashing down to 33 cents. Lawsuit, off exchanges, crazy. Now, I kept buying. From $1.80 down to 33 cents, I kept buying. when I had diarrhea. All right, there was diarrhea because my watch. I was scared, but I kept listening to Warren Buffett, Warren Buffett, Warren Buffett, Warren Buffett. Have discipline. Have discipline. Let's stick with this. Let's stick with it. So long story short, I bought it up for that 33 cents. Brought my average down from that 188. Because remember, I was buying at $1.80. So I bought so much that I brought it back down to 58 cents on one exchange, and then one wallet, the next wallet down to 52 cents. But it ran up to $3.66. Right? Now I didn't sell, but I could have sold from that 33 cents that I was buying it up to that $3.66. But the point I was trying to make is that I kept conviction, I held, and it ran up. So when you're seeing the prices right now at $2.2 trillion, I'm just trying to tell you, this is not the first time this has happened. It's not the second time this happened. It's not the third time this happened. It's not the fourth time this happened. It's not the fifth time. This is where it's at. And these are the opportunities that come. The FUD, the fear and uncertainty and doubt, that's what it is. Now, let's just say you don't trust it. All right, so sit on the sideline and just watch it. Sit on the sideline and watch how this plays, but learn it while you sit on the sideline. So if this right here does that flip, at least now you'll feel confident, like, okay, I watched this happen. I learned this space. Next time I have more confidence investing in this. Even if you're in the S&P or you're in any type of real blue chip stock, there's gonna be red days. Okay. And those are days that you want to accumulate. You're getting on a discount. As long as your asset is not going through some real problems, it's the total market that's down. When it's the total market down, it's not your coin. You know what I mean? Right now, there's FOMO, that Clarity Act. That's not, I look at the plumbing. I look at what's going on behind the scenes. I look at Ripple getting licenses. I just seen Ripple just now. If you look at the post I did, the banks are just now got allowed. They just got allowed to use on-chain. So you guys understand, Ripple was not allowed to use on-chain, blockchain to move monies because they didn't have no KYC and they didn't have AML. This is just new. You got to understand, it's been infrastructure. Thank you, Vintage Black. This is what it's been. This has all been about infrastructure. We have to get through this. You know what I'm saying? And then let's see what happens with this use at scale. We're not going to know what this is going to be until they start using it at scale. I don't care what hype you on, what YouTube channel you hear, what conspiracy everybody got. Because you know what? Listen, man. I watch all them cats. And as I do more and more research, they what it is, I don't know if they're going deep into the plumbing. I don't know if everybody's going into the infrastructure. I don't think people are paying attention to the licenses, the S1, who's filing the licenses, why are they filing the licenses. Just like I told you when I found out that BlackRock is using Ondo, I would never have found that out at all unless I went looking at what OUSG is. And the only reason why I found out is because I wanted to know the abbreviation. There was nowhere on any article they even showed the abbreviation. I had to go look up the abbreviation and find out it was Ondo. That's why I was so amazed and shocked. And I talk about it every day because I'm like, damn, that was right under our nose. Yeah. And you know what it is? Because you get caught up in that content that Bitcoin at 67,000, right? You got to understand, I saw Bitcoin go from 74,000 down to 16,000 and then rise up to 120. There was people that saw Bitcoin drop down to $3,000, go from rise up to 8,000, drop down to 3,000, and then shoot up to 34,000. There's people that had Bitcoin at 100 and saw Bitcoin right up from $200-300 to run up to 2,800 and then come back down. This is a cycle that's been going on. You know what I'm saying? This is what it is. I'm not saying for everybody, like I tell you, don't throw all your eggs in one basket. I'm not saying just put your money all in crypto. I'm just telling you that it could be another source besides just traditional stocks, besides real estate, besides your traditional CDs and the mutual funds and stuff like that. That's all I'm saying. And I I have all. Actually, I have all four. But yeah. Let's say vintage black says we just don't know the time remaining in the fourth. That's it. It is, man. That's all it is, man. That's all it is. We just got to figure it out the time, and that's what it is. And nobody knows the time. You got to wait for this Clarity Act garbage to go through with Coinbase, but they bought their way in the game. It's crazy that Coinbase bought their way into the game like that. That's very wild, man. It's very wild that Coinbase, that Brian Armstrong, man. Let me tell you, and they got their hands into Circle. Don't think Coinbase is so clean, people. Believe me, they do a lot of funny business over there. You know what I'm saying? But let me tell you something. Companies, just for example, right? XRP price prediction. Goldman Sachs just revealed 152 million XRP. Why does Wall Street know that you don't know? Okay, Goldman Sachs just reported that it holds XRP, yet it actually does not. Sounds weird, right? Here it goes. Wall Street Bank reported it holds over 152 worth of XRP, like most large institutions hold exposure to ETFs rather than directly owning tokens. This marks Goldman Sachs' first reporting institutional exposure to XRP. This is part of a larger crypto portfolio, as bank holds roughly 1 billion in Bitcoin and Ethereum ETF, along with over 100 million in Solana exposure. Okay, so here goes. Look at this. So Goldman Sachs. Just so you guys hear. So why everybody's in fear, just look at this. All right, this Dcryptofan. I don't make this stuff up now. Look at this. Look at this. Bitcoin, 1 billion. Ethereum, 1 billion. What does that say? XRP, what does it say? XRP, 153 million. Solana, 108 million. Okay? That's Goldman Sachs. That's Goldman Sachs. Let me something. You think these people are stupid people? All right? During quarter 4, 2025, the banks trimmed some of the Bitcoin and Ethereum positions and reallocated part of the capital into XRP and Solana. Let me repeat that. Y'all. It's Dcryptofan. If you learn something, hit the like, man. Hit subscribe. Make sure you share this information. All right? This is the time we want to share it. I'm telling you, right now when things are going down. You know why you say why? Because it's clearance. It's a clearance sale. You know when we had 100 people in here, whenever we were all-time highs. This is the time to learn. This is the time when smart money moves. You hear what they just said? Listen to this. During quarter 4, 2025, the banks trimmed some of its Bitcoin and Ethereum ETF positions and reallocated part of that capital into XRP and Solana. Notably, quarter 4 disclosure shows 15% over year increase despite broader crypto market volatility. Listen what this means. They're saying notable in quarter 4, 2025 disclosure shows a 15% year over year increase despite broader crypto market. So basically what they're saying, Goldman Sachs is saying, even so, crypto is down, right? They're still making up to 15% every single year. So what does that mean? Let's say you have $100,000 in the bank. Okay, you're making $15,000 every single year. Okay, so if you have $100,000 in the bank, you make 15,000. They're making 15%. So for you, that would be 15,000. All right, and in 2 years, right, that would be 60,000. Now, mind you, if you keep the money in there, it's 160,000 now, multiplied by that same 15%. Okay, so you're talking about 160 plus 3, 18. So now you're talking about, y'all killing me with the math. What is that? That year would be whatever, 100 and but you get a 23,000. I think would be that year. But just every year, you're getting more. Because remember, it's compounding. Because now you went from that year, you went from 115,000. Year 2 now, you're going getting 12%, 15% of 115,000. All right, so let's just say now you get to 120, but remember you made another 15,000, so that's now 135,000. Now you get 15% of that 135,000, and so on and so forth, and keeps growing and growing and growing and compounding. This is the strength of compounding. And when you talk about 15%, just think about it. 15% is what they're making year in year. Right now, just think about it. They're making 15%. Coinbase and the banks are arguing about 4 and 5%. Listen. The banks and Coinbase are fighting about 4 to 5%. They're making 15%. Remember I told you about parking your money. The only difference between smart people, right, and unsmart people, right? Guess what the difference is? Where you park your monies. Does that really make them that smart? Because they know where to park their money? No. That means they had the knowledge to know where to park it and you didn't. Or we didn't. But now we're learning. So that's why you got to share that information. Make sure your kids know. This is the difference. That compound is wild. That compound interest, and you keep throwing money on top of it. You want to see your money flip in 5, 6 years, 10 years? You want to see what that look like? Especially if you throw some real money on it. Ooh. Let me tell you something. That's when you learn patience and discipline, when you see what it looks like. And then on that 20 year, oh my Lord, you got to think about it. Say you got $1 million. You got $1 million. At 15%, you made $150,000. If you don't touch that, right? And then next year, that turns to 130 plus the compound on top of that. Then you're talking about $1.6 million. You're talking about you're flipping your money. You're doubling your money every 6 years. 5 years, 6 years, you're doubling your money, $2 million, just because of the compound interest. 7 years. So now it goes to $2 million. So now when you do that again for that 7 years, it goes to the $4 million. And matter of fact, it happened faster. So it won't even be 7 years. This time it'll take 5 years, turn to $4 million. Then now you're getting 15% on that $4 million. That $4 million now turns to $8 million. That $8 million turns to 16. That 16 turns to 32. That 32 turns to 64. That 64 turns to 128. You understand? That's how it happens. That's that compound. That baby start compounding crazy. But you have to have that discipline. That's the whole thing. You got to have that discipline. And now you be the one that have that discipline. Now you can take care of the ones under you, meaning your kids. Now you teach them. Now by the time you up, you can come back and now you come back and bless the grandchildren. Word. That's how you do it. That's how it's been done. That's how the rich get richer. It's compound. The power of compound interest. It's wild. That's why they should be teaching economics class. Let me tell you, every time where they should be telling you when you know what, between you leave 12th grade, before you leave college, you should know 3 things. Matter of fact, 4 things. Compound interest, Equifax, Experian, TransUnion. Listen what I just said to you. Listen what I said to you. Compound interest, TransUnion, Equifax, Experian. And those are credits. All right? And those are the power right there. You learn the money you're saving right there and learn the money interest. Learn your credit. Your credit's how you get that monies. Keeping that clean credit. Keeping that ratio down. I mean, if you have a credit card, your credit is determined on how many cards you have and the amount of availability you have on them. Okay? Meaning that if you got 10 cards, 10,000, they like to see you with like 1,000 and shit. Because that means that you have a 90% ratio. You have 90% available. That's how you get that 800 credit score. Okay, when you max out on everything, yeah, that's how you get that 590, 620, and you paying that minimum, you ain't going nowhere. When you paying that minimum, you ain't going nowhere. What you talking about? Yeah. You ever see them cars when they press that gas and their cars going real fast and the tire spinning and they ain't going nowhere? You just burning rubber, you ain't going nowhere, man. That's what it is, all right? It's Dcryptofan. I'm going to teach y'all how to go now. I'm going to tell you the real truth now. So when you see Goldman Sachs, they're buying up Solano. They're talking about, listen to coins they're buying now. My boy said massive fart coin. Y'all be talking about that fart coin. Listen, so revealed 152 million, all right? You understand what I'm saying? 152 million XRP. You think Goldman Sachs is buying XRP for no reason? Huh? Let me tell you this. XRP predicted if banks are buying, why XRP is heading to 120. XRP is still trapped inside a descending channel, but finally looks like it's trying to catch a breath. Price was bounced good from 110 to 130 support zone. It's now chopping just under the resistance, which is exactly where relief rallies start. Okay? As long as 130 holds, okay, downside risk looks limited, but losing again opening at 110. I heard people calling it $1. The big moment breakout hold channel of 150, which holds a single bullish shift set up to move towards 190 and 210 pretty fast. RSI is still distressed. So any push higher has fueled XRP to reclaim a descendant resistance. Okay, let me tell you something. These people right here, compound. There you go. Let me tell you, compound interest is where it's at, y'all. Do not sleep on that. All right, very, 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 very serious. So when you know what I'm saying, whatever that. What do you mean? Whatever does that mean? Compound. What does compound interest mean? Lord. That's what you said. What does compound interest mean? Oh my Lord, man. My Lord. Okay. Did I just explain the compound interest? All right. You have 100,000, right? They give you 15%, right? You made 15,000, right? Then the next year you make another 15, right? But you also get percentage of that 130,000. It keeps growing. That's called compound. It keeps compounding. Interest more and more. The money keeps growing. It keeps compounding on top of each other. You get me? That's what compound is. You get what you guys understand now what compound interest is? That's what it is versus you just having your money 100,000 in the bank and doesn't do nothing. You put the money, you put 100,000, it stays at 100,000. Ain't compounding nothing. You get it? You put 100,000. It has no yield. That 100,000 stays as 100,000. Now, you got 100,000. You get 15%. Okay? Just say you don't touch it. You get 15%. You get 15,000 every year. But not only are you getting 15,000 every single year, it gets more because now you're getting, instead of you getting paid 15% on 100,000, you're getting paid on 15% of 100,000, 15. Okay, then after that, another year goes, say you're getting paid 15% on 115, you're getting paid 115, 130. But that's getting on top of that. So now it's probably 150. So every year it keeps growing and growing. That's called compound interest. Okay? So you get it? So when you say compound, that's what it is. Compound interest staking, no, it's too different. Okay? When you're doing staking now, understand this. When you're staking, like say you stake Ethereum, you're telling them that you're going to hold that money for a certain amount of time. It's locked in there. So when you stake, like say you stake Ethereum, like I did it previously, you stake that Ethereum, it's stuck in there. So let's say the price goes to berserk. You can't pull it out and sell it. Two different things. Okay? Two different things. Make sure, you know what I'm saying? Be staking, you're earning yields, but it's different. Okay? Just want to let y'all know. When you're doing this compound interest, like you say the S&P 500, that baby keep going for years, and some years it's up, some years it's down, some years it's up, some years it's down. But if you want to sell it, you can sell it and pull it out at any time. Might take a couple of days, a couple of weeks, but you can sell it. And at the end of the year, You have to pay on the gains, but you can sell it. Just want to let y'all know. All right. There's a big difference. So right now, with Coinbase, they want to call it, instead of calling yields, they want to call it rewards. They changed the word around. Say instead of calling it yields, they call it rewards. They changed the name. So instead of paying you 4 or 5% and call it yields, they'll pay you 4 or 5% in equivalent and call it rewards. And it'll be just equivalent, probably use the same math, just use 5%. Don't even call it 5%, call it rewards. You remember with your boy there, what is his name there? Frank Lucas. Remember he told me, I don't care what you call it. You can call it stepped on, you call it, but don't call it black magic. So basically what the banks are saying, don't call it black magic. Call it whatever you want. Don't call it yields. That's the same thing that's going on. Exact same thing. If you ever watch that, that's what's going on. You can call it whatever you want, but don't call it black magic. The banks are saying, don't call it yields. Call it rewards. That's what it is, man. That's exactly what's going down. So please, I know I talk every day, and I'm not telling y'all what to buy, but I just want to tell you what it is. They cut holding times on staking, brother. Yes, they did. They did cut holding times. Not everyone is a year, but I don't like the fact of holding my asset at any time that locks it in. You know, not for me. For some people, that's okay. Some people are like, yo, I'm going to hold on my asset for 10 years, so I don't mind to stake it at a certain time and hold it for a certain amount of time. Yeah, but I need access to my account, my access to mines at any time. If there's a pump, let's just say there's a crazy pump, some crazy news comes out, it's a crazy pump, I want to have access to my monies. And that's my opinion. People just might not feel the same way, but for me, and some people they don't care for that. You know what I'm saying? For me, I need access to mines, and that's could be different for everybody. That doesn't mean follow me. For me, there's some people that stake, and that's fine too. I'm not against staking. I don't see anything wrong with that. I just, for me, it saved me, because when I got hacked, when I got hacked for that 54,000, the reason why I didn't steal my Ethereum is because I was staking it. When I got hacked on Coinbase, the only reason they didn't take my Ethereum was because I was staking it, and it was like $12,000 in Ethereum. But what I got back in staking it, I wasn't really impressed by what I got back in the staking. That's all it was. I wasn't. But it did save my butt. So I'll say that right there. It definitely saved my butt, because they couldn't take it out because it was getting staked. So yeah, just want to put that out there. You know what I'm saying? Just want to put that there. Let me see right here. I hear ya, but damn, some of the APYs are up there. My highest is 24%. Listen, I'm not mad at, 24% is a great. I didn't even know there was any staking that was giving 24%. I never heard of that type. I think the highest I heard, what's that? I think USDE was doing 16% backed by gold. I think that's what I heard, something like that. But I never heard of anything giving 24%. That's a Cardano. That's a Cardano. That's a high APY. 24%. I haven't heard that high. That's wild. That's wild. 24%. Now, don't get me wrong. The S&P last year was 25%. That's S&P, and that's the highest. But yeah, I've heard Cosmos give 16%, and I would feel more comfortable with Cosmos that's been around for a while. Yeah, I definitely with Cosmos more than Check out crypto.com on Flare, bro. It's high, might be down a little, really. That's with the FX, probably with the FX. That's wild. I will definitely check that out. I would definitely thank y'all for that information. I would definitely check that out. Cardano is saying check out crypto.com, and its high might be down, but check that out. 24%. That's up there. My friend was staking his crypto with Celsius, and he was getting 19%. He lost it all. God damn. How did he lose it all? 600,000. He lost. How did he lost it? So, oh, the Celsius. Oh, that's Celsius was the exchange that went down, huh? That's the one that collapsed. Ooh, that's the thing with certain companies, man, that give those high yields is crazy. But crypto.com, I don't see them going anywhere anytime soon. But that's why you don't keep your money on exchanges. When you keep your money on that exchange, if that exchange goes down, just so you know, if you have your money on crypto.com or you have your money on Coinbase, if Coinbase goes bankrupt, you're done. You know that, right? If you're on crypto.com and they go bankrupt, you're done. Uphold, they go bankrupt, you're done. You know that, right? Hope you're aware of that. Hope you're aware of that. You know what I'm saying? So the person that King Crypto's talking about with the 600,000, you know, when I got hacked, right? Right after I got hacked from Coinbase for that 54,000, of course I got scared and I moved all my monies off of every exchange. I have money on Bitmark because I had nothing in wallets, so I moved my money off of Hotbit, Bitmark, Coinbase, whatever I had left, off of Crypto.com, off of Uphold. I moved everything off. Don't you know? Freaking Hotbit, where I had 25 grand, literally after I moved my money, it went down 6 weeks, 7 weeks later. I would have lost my 25 grand after getting hit for $54,000. Imagine that. So lucky I moved that. Yeah, man. Yes, 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 yes. Be careful. Sometimes it's too good, like Vintage Back says, sometimes it's too good to be true. You gotta be careful, but I've heard about some great yields. Cosmos has been around for a while. What does that say? Arm Certain says, I got locked and lost most of my staking with Voyager back in the day. Damn. See, I'm telling you, man. That's the thing, man. I staked ADA and got locked a year and a half. God damn. Please don't tell me you got locked when ADA hit $1.24. Please tell me you didn't get locked when that happened, man. Because that's the stuff. That's why I don't like the staking, man. That's why if there's something that gives me passive yields where I could just hold it in a wallet and get passive yields, I'm more into that, man. That's why that's why that Coinbase, I really want to see what happens when Ripple opens the bank. I want to see what XRP, Ripple, and Brad Garlinghouse and them boys is gonna do when they open the bank, because they all about regulatory clarity. That's one thing about them. They'll take the long way, pause, big pause. They'll take the long way to figure it out. You know what I'm saying? And let me tell you, I mess with Brad and them. They no hype, no cap. I want to see what they're gonna do with the banks. They got the wallets. They got FX doing the yields. Let me tell you something. They got the brokerage. Let me tell you, Ripple and XRP is setting up for some real stuff, man. One-stop shop. I want to see what happens. I'm very curious to see, man. Because I'm not gonna lie to y'all, man. I have so much fear, even with the cool wallet, hot wallet, man. Every time I got a friend of mine who don't go hold no crypto, and it's always the cats that hold no crypto that always want to come with the wild stuff. But man, he be talking about this quantum what is it? That quantum the new computers they're talking about that'll break all type of codes and stuff. That quantum they're talking about from 10 years from now. What is it called? Quantum freaking it's a computing. Yeah, man, it's a computing, but it's called it's this new computer, man. Fast quantum computing. Thank you, bro. Thank you, man. Yeah, quantum computing, man. DJ DJ Ends official. Thank you, man. That's what I'm talking about, man. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. Listen, man. So that's why I would like to see more security, and even Ripple is talking about a quantum security to fight the quantum computing. So they're already working on security to stop that. So I'm like, man, Ripple, please come out with a bank so I could, you know what I'm saying? So I could freaking, yeah, let me tell you, man, after you get hit for 54,000, you'll be real scared. Then let me tell you, man, even a hot wallet, cold wallet, you still be scared. And then, let me see what he said. And then you have Ripple who has the liquidity there. That's another thing. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, vintage back, quantum proof encryption. I'm telling you, man. It's crazy, man. The way that we're going. King Crypto, what do you think after Clarity Act presses crypto uh rip? I don't think the Clarity Act. I think we'll get back to. that 3 point. I think we'll just get back to where we were. I think if the Clarity Act moves, I think we'll just get back to that 3.8, 3.9 trillion. We'll get back to that. At least get back to that. To that 100,000, 90,000 Bitcoin, get back to that 280 XRP, get back to to where we were at before October 9th. I think if we get the Clarity Act taken care of, I think we'll get to exactly where we were at October 9th. That's what I think. You know what I mean? That's what I think. I think we'll get back there. I think the institutions took advantage of the Clarity Act. And they went and moved their inflows, and they're buying CT over the counter right now. That's what I personally think. And let me tell you, I could be wrong. Because really, honestly, we're not gonna move at the scale and move real monies until they actually start using this stuff, man. Until they start actually using XRP, that's gonna be the time that we're going to see the real move. You know what I'm saying? Right now, I see there's a lot of FUD, especially around Bitcoin. Let me tell you, there's so much FUD around Bitcoin. Lord, let me tell you something, man. They got an Epstein. They're talking about Bitcoin going to zero. It's like, man, every 4 years you hear this news, man. You hear this news. They talk this stuff. They put this FOMO out there. And they talking about, oh, Bitcoin is now a store of gold. Let me tell you something, man. Don't let these people fool you. The dollar's not backed by anything. Bitcoin's not backed by anything. So what are you talking about? There was a time when dollar was backed by gold, but it's not backed by anything. It's the federal government just printing money. It's not backed by anything. Don't let them fool you. You know what I'm saying? Nothing. Don't let them fool you. And this Clarity Act, I'm gonna tell you right now, with the Clarity Act, it's gonna come down to them just giving rewards. It's dragging out. It's dragging out very long, and they come on, man. Listen, man. What we need to pay attention to is the plumbing, the Clarity Act. Thank you. Hey, Sonic, appreciate that. Perfect. Sonic says Pokemon card is worth 300K. That's example. A card, a Pokemon card that took less than $1 to make. Less than 50 cents to make a Pokemon card. It worth 300K, 300 grand. You know why? Because we say it. We set the value on it. We set the value of Bitcoin the same way. We set the value. Listen, Michael Jordan card. You know a Cartier bracelet, right? The Cartier bracelet, right? I went to get a Cartier bracelet. It's called the Nail. Okay, it has a diamond on there. I think it's a 3-carat diamond, 2-carat diamond. It's a Cartier nail. All right. It's 16,500. All right. I went to Aventura. It's 18-carat. All right. I went to Aventura. The gentleman wants to sell me the exact same fake one. That's 18-carat with the same diamonds for 3 grand. You know it's really worth probably about 2,500. 2,200. He's making 800. Not big, but he deserves it. But there's a difference between 16,500. And you know what dictates? Sorry, it's 13,500. But you know what dictates that it's 13,500? The people. There's people lined up to buy that. The people dictate the value. That's what it is. Gold. Gold is metal. You know who dictates that gold is value? The people. We value gold. That's what it is. We set the value. So when you look at Bitcoin, we set the value of Bitcoin. It's us, the people. That's it. Don't get too caught up in it. And like, oh, this. Don't get caught up in that. Listen, this thing is, you want me to get too deep in this matrix here. Okay. King Crypto, I got to 1.7, man. I got to 1.7 million ZBAC. I think I'm gonna try to get to that 2 milli. That's what I'm gonna do. Try to get to 2 milli. Right now it's at 0.00020. So I was seeing if it was gonna drop into the ones. I was hoping it gets into the ones so I can go ahead and rack up, man. I'm racking up right now, but I'm taking my time. I'm looking for dips. I'm looking for prices that I like for my coins, and that's what I'm doing, man. I'm just keeping it easy, man. That's what I'm doing. Brad's awareness will have overpay almost every time. Tell you straight up, man. Tell me now. Brand awareness, straight up. Brand awareness will make you pay over every time. That's what it is. It's what it is. And tell you, that's what it is. And guess what? I'm not gonna lie to you. Y'all saw the other day I went out. I had a product. Listen, I do it myself. The other night you saw what I had. I had a product tie. I had a what's it called? What was my belt? Same belt I got right now. I ain't gonna lie to you. Yeah, $600. That's what it is, man. Ferragamo. I could have got a regular belt for $10, but that Ferragamo hit different. Brand. We dictate the price. I could have got the same belt for $10. That thing got that Ferragamo. It's go time. You know why? Because hey, I work in a business where, listen, people come spend money with you. You got to look good. You know what I'm saying? You got to look good. You got to look good, especially and not for anything, and I don't mean it in any way. As a black man, unfortunately, I got to be the flyest man in the business. I'm sorry. That comes with the territory. It comes with a lot of stigmas, and unfortunately, I don't play with them stigmas. So while people are trying to play with the stigmas and trying to figure it all out, I'm coming in clean, baby. I'm trying to. Let me tell you, my mentor told me, my boy David Jackmar, my mentor, he told me 25 years ago, I used to wear long polo shirts, long sleeve shirts with the brand. And he's like, he looked at me and said, bro, you can't afford to do that. What are you doing? So what are you talking about? Clean. Press, cleaners, crease. What up? You can't afford to do that. You're a black man. You gotta be the cleanest in here. So when I go to work, I'm trying to kill everybody. I don't care who you are. I'm trying to be the flyest in that bad boy. And that's how it's been. Yeah, I'll tell you right now. And I'm also the highest paid. There's a correlation. You do it. Somebody told me a long time ago. It's one of the greatest things I ever heard. Dress for the position you want, not the position you're in. This is what I'm going to say to you. I'm going to say it again. Dress for the position you want, not the position you're in. Take that right there. All right, let's get back to crypto. So I want to get into this, right? So Chainlink, we know all this. We talk about all this tokenization. So I want to break down some of this. Chainlink's feeds live for Ondo tokenized U.S. stocks on Ethereum. You remember I keep telling about Ondo and his U.S. stocks on Ethereum. This is what the government wants to mess with. Ondo Finance, Ondo Global Market Platform has integrated Chainlink. Remember, Ondo does the tokenization. Chainlink gives the data. Okay, that's why since October 10th, I've been buying Chainlink. Okay, just started buying Ondo. Okay, made me a believer, especially when I seen BlackRock on it. And I'm not telling you to buy. I'm just telling you what I'm doing. Okay, this is not financial advice, not a financial advisor. Okay, Market Global Platform integrated Chainlink as official data oracle enabled on-chain prices, feeds tokenized stocks for SPY, QQ, TSLA, that's Tesla, to go live on Ethereum. That feeds are being utilized on Euro. So what I'm trying to show y'all, don't watch prices. Don't watch prices. Watch the plumbing. Listen what we're talking about. The feeds are now being utilized on Euro, where users can now post tokenized equities and collateral to borrow stable coins. This development provides on-chain pricing refers for tokenized assets, allows DeFi protocols to set collateral parameters to manage liquidations, okay, tied to underlying equities while also accounting for corporate action like dividends. The move marks a notable step to bring traditional equity, listening, and structured products designed on the hinge of reliable price data. So who's giving the price data? Chainlink. Who's doing the tokenization? Ondo. All right. The 67 people we got in here, y'all gonna learn something tonight. Tell you that right now. Initial support for SPY, SPDR, okay? S&P 500, ETFs, QQ on investments, Tesla stock with expectation of expanding additional tokenized assets covered. Come on, man. Whew, y'all don't listen, man. That 26 cents Ondo, okay. That 26 cents Ondo, I'm pure loot. Let me tell you, I'm not saying meme coins don't bounce back hard, but in a time of uncertainty, a time like this, I only feel comfortable right now buying coins that have real true plumbing. I'm not gonna lie to you. True use case. I'm going with the bank right now. Things are so scary for me. For me, things are so scary. I'm going with the stuff that have true use case that I see institutions and banks are using right now. Donnie Lynn, what's going on, young lady? How you doing? How you doing? Good to see you. That's what it is, man. I'm going with the coins that have utility. Chainlink. Listen to this. Ondo follows broader push of tokenized U.S. equities underscored by regulatory and market actions across finance and crypto venues, including NASDAQ, rule changes efforts, public experiment by Robinhood and others. Industry developed high and growing ecosystem where tokenized stocks can be fed, DeFi protocols, and potential participation in broader on-chain trading custody flows. Are you guys understanding this? So they were talking about tokenizing stocks, tokenizing Tesla. So basically, they're taking the paper. So you guys understand, they're not actually taking the stock. They're just taking the paper. They're making a digital imprint. So now it's a digital imprint. It moves faster because you can see everything transparent for any type of system that you're using, any type of banking system that you're using, any type of exchange that you're using. It's just the transparency and the speed of it. So when you hear tokenization, don't get scared of anything that they're taking your stocks and that Wall Street's going nowhere. No, it's taking Wall Street's paper and tokenizing it. It's taking that's all it's doing. It's doing a digital imprint. That's all it is. Don't get confused and think Wall Street's going anywhere. No. You're just making it cheaper for Wall Street and making everything for the books to be read on Wall Street. Think about just following an audit. It's like having a live audit in real time. And for them to get that data, you see that data? You see when you ever watching you ever watching CNBC or any television show you're watching and you're seeing that they have that data rolling through, like say they have like the Dow Jones that have the prices going live, where you see or even when you watch the news, it's raining right now. The weather's this, the weather's that, the weather's this, where they're getting that data. Okay, so they're getting that data from somewhere and they come and report it to you. But what happens is Chainlink is taking that data and giving it to blockchain technology. So what happens is when you're tokenizing, they can't do the data. XRP doesn't do that data. Ethereum does not do the data. Bitcoin does not do the data. So how do they get this data? Real world data through Chainlink. When you guys are saying what's real world data, it's raining outside. That's real world data. The house just sold for $50,000. That's real world data. There was an earthquake. That's real world data. Real world data. Everything that's real world that the protocol needs. Like say you're a cement company, right? You need to know the price of cement. You need to know the cement's coming on Tuesday. You need to know all this information. How you get this information is through Chainlink. Chainlink gives real world data. Got it? That's all it is. So in my mind, I think that's important. So I'm buying Chainlink because I think it's an important tool that these use cases are going to need real case data. Now, there might be another use case that you see that's more important. You might say to yourself, I like Cardano because of the smart contracts and the security. Speaking of Cardano, so you might just say, you know what? I feel like smart contracts and that security data is more important. So you might say, I don't Chainlink, that's cool, but I'd rather go with security. Then you might say, you know what? I like XRP because I like cross-border payments. So you might go into that. Then you might say, you know what? I like Avalanche because I want to do the settlement after the tokenization. I think that's more important. Or you might say, I want to do HBAR, that's bridging the tokenization. Basically, what I'm saying is that you have to learn what the use cases are so you know what you're investing in, so you can have conviction in what you're investing in. You might be the smartest person that's in here and know which one is more important than I do. You might have a way of looking at things that are better than I am or better than anybody else that you say, you know what? No, I think Cardano might be the one because from my experience, smart contracts and securities might be what matter. Or you might be in a place where you say, nah, you know what? I think cross-border payments might be the place. Or you might say, you know what? I think tokenization, Ondo tokenizing treasuries and stocks might be important. Then you might say, no, I think the other one is called Poppy is more important because it's tokenizing real estate. The point I'm just trying to make is that you have to learn what these true use cases is and what these coins do and these tokens do so you know what you're investing in so that you'll have more confidence in what you're buying. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. I'm not trying to tell y'all. It's all good for you to listen to everybody on YouTube like, buy this. It's the new hottest coin. Listen, man, I did that. See how that worked out for you. Y'all smart enough. Y'all smart enough to just take your time to understand what these words are so you can know what you're investing in. You guys are smart enough. This is not rocket science, man. This ain't, you just don't know who the players are. Learn who the players are. Learn who holding the money. Learn what these coins need to, what they're used for. And you're smart enough to know, like, yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's like this. If somebody said, it's like this, right? It's very simple. If somebody says, yo, I'm going in the middle of the desert, right? I'm thinking about selling water. You're going to say, yeah, I see some use case in that. Because in this desert, you're going to be freaking hot as hell. You're going to be thirsty. So the use case, you see the value in it. Because if you're in the middle of the desert, that water is going to save your ass. So that's the use case. That's a value in that. So you probably invest in that dude that's going in the middle of the desert that there's millions of people that want water. You know what I'm trying to tell you? I'm just throwing analogies out there, but just find out what the use case is. That's all I'm saying, man. Whatever the project do, what's the protocol? And when you see what the protocol is, that's what it does. What the use case is, what are they using it for? You know what I'm saying? That's what it is. All right? Just wanted to get into that and explain that right there. You know what I'm saying? Thank you. Julia said it perfect. Know the coin's utility. Okay? What the utility is, once again, what the utility is and what it does. Okay? So when you hear these words that we're throwing out here, utility, use case, protocol, what does this damn thing do? Okay? So that's why when you hear people say utility. So I know when you're watching these and you're seeing these words that we're using, and I know when the first time is coming, it can get intimidated. But once you know these words and you know what they are, it's not intimidating anymore. It's not. You know what I'm saying? It's not. You know what I mean? It's like when I used to listen to Jamaican music. When I first used to listen to Jamaican music, I was like, what was he saying? What? But once you slow it down and you stretch the words, you're like, man, now there's not a Jamaican song that come on that I don't understand the words. And I would say to myself, how do they understand patois? How do they understand these? How do they understand it? Now Vice Cartel come on, I'm gonna know what's going on. Yeah, I understand the words, but I mean, when first I didn't. But just like anything, you're gonna learn. Once you learn the slang, you learn the verbiage. Just like anything else, man. You just gotta learn the verbiage. It's like sports. You remember when you first started watching sports, you were like, what? But then when you learn what a first down was, You learn what a forward lateral was. You learn what a punt was. Then you know what a kickoff was. Then you start learning the teams. Then you start learning the coaches. Then you start knowing the stats. Then you start. It's same thing, man. Same thing. Or just when you're watching your favorite reality TV show, or just like Game of Thrones. If you watch Game of Thrones, you know you learn who Tyrion was. Then you start learning who Jon Snow was. Then you start learning who the White Walkers were. Then you started knowing who the dragons. You start learning everything. It's just like anything else, man. In time, you're gonna learn it, man. And this right here is very important because where we're going in and where the world is going in right now, this digital money is here to stay. They're fighting in right now. You have Congress fighting. You have the president that owns crypto projects. That lets you know this ain't going nowhere. So you need to study and learn this thing real quick, man. You know what I'm saying? Arc Still, appreciate the love, man. Appreciate the love, man. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate the love. So make sure you guys are learning what's going on. Man. It's Dcryptofan. Well, all we do is talk crypto, make it easy for you to learn. Yeah, just pay attention, y'all. You know what I'm saying? We get back at it mañana. Just want to go into that with the Clarity Act and exactly what the Clarity Act was about. But they said it should be closing soon. We'll see what happens. I think at the end of the day, they're just going to come out and say, guess what? You do the memes. I mean, you do the yields. Don't call it yields. You call it rewards, and let's move on with life. And I think this was more to attack also Trump's interest. Because they feel that Trump is doing a conflict of interest of being the president and also having investments in crypto. So the Democrats feel like there's a conflict of interest. Duh. But it's too late, man. That you made me did Clarity Act and agreed to it. So I don't know how that's gonna work, but that's what that's about. Yeah, man. But anyways, Dcryptofan, please be careful out there. We'll get back at it tomorrow. But pay attention to the plumbing, y'all. I know in these times it's boring, but like I told y'all, man, I'm buying calmly, easy. No rush, no FOMO. Calmly. They don't need to rush because just in case it keeps going, you want to make sure that you have some bread there in case it takes a big dip. Just calm. Don't rush it. Because last time, let's just put it this way, last time we was in this type of like when we took a dip, it lasted 3 years. Yeah. So just tell you, sometimes it get crazy. I don't think that we're in that situation right now, but if we are, make sure you have some money on the sidelines to take advantage of the dips and load up calmly, easy. Still live your life, still do your things, still go out there and enjoy. Enjoy your family, enjoy your people, be good to your peoples, right? Enjoy your life. Take 10%, still live. Make sure you got your real estate. Make sure you got your stocks. Make sure you got your savings. All of the above. All right? Just want to say that. All right? Don't be a crypto maxi. Also, listen, I love my crypto because let me tell you, it's outpaced everything. It's outpaced all my investments. Tell you the truth, it's outpaced my investments. You know what I'm saying? I'm not even gonna lie to you. It's outpaced my investments, and right now I feel confident. I'm not gonna lie to you. I feel confident about it. I feel confident about the coins that I'm buying. Let's put it that way. Move to Fort Lauderdale, son. Everybody, every day. You know, I'm trying to say finish black. But that's what it is, man. But just wanted to get into that. Y'all, please keep it easy. Watch the plumbing. I would say, I'm not giving financial advice, but I'm sticking with the coins that have use case and have utility that these banks and these institutions and what they're needing. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm doing. So keep it easy, and we'll be back at it mañana, man. It's Dcryptofan. You already know what time it is, man. Love y'all like cook food. Be easy, be careful, man. Mañana. Take it easy, man. Good night. Big Lou, you already know what time it is, my brother. You already know.